Oh my God.
We live in a world now where eating food on camera is a literal job for people. It's a career path for people.
Hey, yo, I'm about to eat 4 pussy all by myself. Let's get it, baby.
But of course, this little eating show economy, this little mukbang economy, has some major issues.
Mukbang is a social media trend that has caught fire. Eating a large amount of food on camera, it's become a lucrative way for content creators to rack up followers, ads, and brand deals. But it all comes at a price.
Han Xiaoting died while doing an extreme mukbang challenge, which involved eating for more than 10 hours nonstop every day.
Yum, yum. Can you say yum?
I don't know what to do. I'm almost out of time, and I don't want to die.
There is so much I want to talk about today. Eating on camera as a job and all the workplace hazards that come along with that, including already some deaths, the mukbangers whose health is clearly visibly at risk, and those who are, not so obvious. The fact that some governments have already considered banning mukbangs as a public health threat. And the flip side, the absurdity and potential issues that come along with watching people eat as a literal hobby now. But before we do all that, a quick overview. If you don't know what a mukbang is, it's people eating a meal on camera. And as it normally happens, it's a big old pile of food. Now, the mukbang genre has expanded a lot lately, and I feel like there are lots of different ways to mukbang. You do have some people who are just kind of like tasting things. Does that count as a mukbang? I'm not totally sure. But as we were discussing it, we're really talking about people who are showing up and eating a big old pile of food on camera, which is basically the majority anyway. I did an hour-long video on mukbang like years and years ago, but back then mukbangs were mostly all on YouTube and they were all long form. They have evolved an awful lot since then. They're mostly short form now, at least from what I've seen. And short form content has changed mukbangs, and not necessarily for the better.
Eating in the car so my family doesn't ask for any.
Wow. Many of the most successful mukbangs are now rage baits, like what you just saw. They make it onto TikTok's For You page because they are up. Because they're gross, because they're weird, because they're over the top. You keep watching because they're so disturbing that they are annoying. And like the ones I just showed you, they were extreme examples. I used to think that that was kind of like all mukbangs were on TikTok, but after researching this video, I found a whole little world that I still find annoying. You're gonna wanna make sure you're sitting down for this one. And if you don't have a chair to sit in, you're in luck, since this video is sponsored by FlexiSpot. So up until recently, I was sitting and working in the worst possible chair imaginable. I'm talking about no support, just a plain old wooden chair, kind of like the one you might find at your grandma's. And obviously, researching, writing, editing, I sit a lot. So when FlexiSpot reached out with this C7 Max ergonomic chair, I immediately said yes. Honestly, you haven't lived until you've got a chair that is fully adjustable like the C7 Max. If you don't have an ergonomic chair and you spend a good amount of your day sitting, you will notice the difference right away. You can adjust and find the perfect settings for you. It has a 3D adjustable headrest that can be changed to the perfect angle for working. The lumbar support is also designed differently. Traditional ones only support the lumbar region, but by focusing on sacrum support, it automatically supports both the lumbar and sacrum, making it more ergonomic. And the memory foam cushion is super comfortable, suitable for 12 hours of sitting comfortably. The armrests are one of the most important things for me because they sometimes get in the way, but the FlexiSpot C7 Max has these awesome 5D armrests, so you can adjust them perfectly to support your arms no matter what you're doing. The chair is super sturdy. You can sit up cross-legged, you can recline, like there is nothing worse than feeling sore after sitting, kind of the opposite of what you want to be feeling. An ergonomic chair is a great investment in yourself that really pays for itself. Save your spine, feel better, and have more energy while working. And if you're sitting in an old crappy chair like this one, ask yourself, why? Check out FlexiSpot's C7 Max ergonomic chair today. It comes with FlexiSpot's 10-year warranty and 30-day return-free policy. So you can try it out risk-free for 30 days. The FlexiSpot Independence Day sale is on now. Click the link below and use my code to get the best price. Thanks so much to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video, and back to the intentionally and unintentionally enraging world of TikTok mukbangs. For example, this girl. She is getting millions of views per video, 2.8 million followers on TikTok.
Wow, that's seasoning, you guys. Some ranch.
And I'm not sure that she is rage baiting intentionally, but something about her content makes me want to throw myself through a wall. Maybe some of you guys have the same experience. Yeah, see, maybe it's this, maybe it's the sauce, maybe it's the size of the bites. Maybe it's her staring into your eyes while she does it. I don't know, but I don't like it. I do think that the sauce thing, it's kind of her signature thing, I think, and it's definitely part of the problem. So yeah, this whole thing, it's qualifying as rage bait for me. But it's a pretty subjective example of rage bait. Other accounts are much less subtle. Many TikTokers have taken to making you angry in much more obvious ways, such as enraging you by making such questionable health choices that it literally pisses you off. And the first person that comes to mind for that is a TikTok creator by the name of James Bola.
So today we're gonna eat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. 50 maruchanas.
James has almost 500k followers and is succeeding on TikTok by triggering you. His thing is making the audience angry by eating an excessive amount of usually noodles. He does dabble in other stuff, but he's mostly about the noodles. You can see here we have what appears to be a cat litter box full of instant noodles. Then James will proceed to eat these noodles in front of the camera for like 5 full minutes straight while moaning. And this works, and it works well. This next video has 18 million views.
Mood, we're gonna make a little snack because we're waiting for my DoorDash to get here. It says it's me like 35 minutes for it to get here. So we're gonna eat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bulldog noodles carbonara. A little snack. Mood.
Now, obviously, making a little snack while waiting for your DoorDash is problematic. But that little snack piece, it kind of just takes it to the next level because it's already frustrating seeing him eat like this, being obviously extremely and dangerously overweight. But that little snack thing, it's like the straw that pushed him to 18 million views. 5 bomba-clot noodles as a snack. He knew someone had to step up after Nikocado retired. The heavy breathing, hello. We're all just worried about you at this point, and I've only known you for about 5 minutes. Now James is kind of trolling us. He's using his situation to his advantage. He starts every video with mood.
Mood, today for breakfast I felt like having something sweet and this is all I had, so.
He is self-aware about what is getting these views, but as much as he's trolling us, he's also trolling himself because he appears to be genuinely eating all of this food. It's a disturbing situation. It's hard to watch.
I was trying to make it a little bit healthier by just like adding some keto whipped cream.
He's posting literally constantly, sometimes more than once a day, and there is quite clearly a genuine problem here. But like Nikocado in the past, he now has like a trail of people following him around, essentially paying his bills for self-destruction. People are in the comments annoyed, disturbed, concerned, but it really all just feeds into James's success on TikTok. And that is the most twisted thing about this mukbang niche. Issues with food are being incentivized. It has actually never been a better time to make questionable health choices. And James is a really obvious situation. You take one look at this case and you're like, okay, well, this isn't right. But I feel like for every James who the situation is completely obvious, there are probably 10 more who you can't see, who maybe look like the picture of health, but have who knows what going on behind closed doors. And it's not everyone, to be clear. I mean, some people are probably like, yeah, I just didn't want to work my shitty retail job anymore, and I figured I could eat food. But that's the thing, you really just can't tell. And there are definitely people who look like the picture of health, but are really monetizing something that is super, super destructive to them. Here is your typical short form TikTok mukbang, okay? If a person in their car, always in their car for some reason, eating a face-sized burrito.
Look how big this is. This is actually crazy.
Or a sickening amount of sauce.
Sauce and no sauce.
Or an absolute stack of deep fried this or spicy noodle that. Like, if you succeed at making mukbang your full-time thing, your day at the office is kind of weird. And the more you grow and the more you want to grow, like the more ambitious you are, the more precarious of a position you find yourself in. And I think this next mysterious Reddit post sums up the situation quite well. My daughter is a mukbanger. I'm very new to Reddit, so pardon me if I don't do this correct. I am very concerned about my daughter's sudden weight gain. She's been taking place in what's called a mukbang, which is where people online film themselves eating large amount of food for views. My daughter has always enjoyed eating food, but in an amount that was considered normal. When she was younger, she was more active and would dance and go to the gym with with me. However, about 1.5 years ago, I noticed a change. She used to go out and get unhealthy food once or twice a week to film for her TikTok. Her dad and I were okay with this since she would only eat half and give the rest to us. However, recently she's been ordering a significant amount of food and eating it all almost every day a week. According to her, her fans enjoy watching her eat and donate money so she can buy more food. I'm very concerned about her health mentally and physically, especially since she has gained a significant amount of weight in the last few months. She no longer dances and instead films multiple mukbangs a day so that she can continue to eat more food and make more money. We have expressed our concern to her about TikToks and her eating habits, yet she insists that she's not being unhealthy. What do I do? But that's the thing about mukbangs. For many creators, they're not just one of those taste test mukbangers. They're not just eating one little thing and then moving on. It's never a salad. It's usually a platter, a pile of food. And you can imagine this exact same scenario taking place in households across the world. Person starts mukbanging, they have success at mukbanging, so they start taking it seriously. They go from doing it a few times a week to doing it every single day. But putting in more hours in the office means gigantic Wingstop orders and buying this thing for your car. Any way you slice it, it is kind of a weird way to live your life. Are there ways to do it that are not problematic? I assume. Is it better than working some retail job that you absolutely loathe? Probably. Like, can you imagine telling some medieval peasants that in the future people are gonna have this job? Like, I'm sure some people are like eating food on camera. Hell yeah, I'll do that. That sounds great. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't come with some serious issues. If you want to show your daughter what her life might be like in 15 years, watch My 600 Pound Life Season 9, Episode 1, Samantha Story. About 15 minutes in, she starts talking about eating online for people, but never directly says anything about mukbanging.
My life is so miserable now because I've let my weight get so out of control that I'm barely functioning.
Now, I doubt that mukbanging would take you that far, but there are certainly some parallels. Except that most mukbangers that I've seen are not unhealthily overweight. Most of them are healthy looking, thin even. And this is something we'll talk about soon. But anyway, if you keep reading through that thread, a lot of the people were commenting saying that this is like a weird RP of a creator named JellyBean Sweets. JellyBean Sweets went viral on TikTok in 2024 for eating voraciously. People noticed that JellyBean's content went from dance videos to doing daily fast food mukbangs. Not only that, but as she started to have success, she started occasionally doing twice-a-day content, which resulted in people calling her the next Nikocado. If you don't know who that is, it's beyond the scope of this video. But she was posting 2 fast food mukbangs on the same day. She was known for piling the food high with sauces. Just knowing that all these hate views and comments and concern are just making her more money. So she's in this situation where she's now eating more and more and more and more to capitalize on her success. And at that point, people start accusing her of having an addiction. JellyBean at that point seemed to be visibly gaining a bit of weight. All the comments were people suddenly worried that she was actually headed toward a Samantha Story-esque outcome. However, it's been like a year and JellyBean turned out just fine. She clearly did not have an addiction. She was just making content. And that looks like an addiction. Such is the life of a mukbanger. Looks like an unhealthy addiction to fast food is just your job. But not everyone is quite so lucky. There have now been 3 official deaths connected to mukbang. Seriously, people have already died doing this or connected to doing this. Waffler69, Dong's Apatang, Effican Culture, and Pan Xiaoting have all died from mukbang related complications. Except for Pan Xiaoting. That actually turned out to be a weird internet hoax. Horror as extreme eater dies during live stream of 10-hour food. A 24-year-old live streamer died while broadcasting a 10-hour food binge on cake, chicken fingers, and seafood to thousands of her followers. Pan Xiaoting from China died last week from a suspected stomach tear while gorging on 22 pounds of food, including what appeared to be chocolate cake. Okay, important detail. So the story was that she literally died midstream, right? Meaning she's dying in front of an audience of like hundreds, maybe thousands of people. And the news stories had all these crazy details like this. Autopsy results revealed that her stomach had become severely deformed and filled with undigested food, suggesting that her stomach could have burst, causing stomach acid and food to leak into her abdomen. Shocking, terrifying, what the f? Yet you look into it, You cannot find the footage of the stream. You can't even find her. I saw a bunch of different pictures posted, kind of look like a different lady. Like if you look at the face, the eyes are all cut off, but it looks like a different lady in every single one. When you look up Pan Xiaoting on Google, it says Chinese professional pool player. But one detail, this woman right here, she appeared to be in multiple of the photos on different news sites. But guess what? She is still very much alive. She is posting content on Douyin, aka Chinese TikTok, the real Chinese TikTok, not normal TikTok. She is posting content on there literally to this day. Okay, she is alive. See, there she is. She's wearing a meat shirt, eating macaroni and cheese. It's really hard to navigate this account or even figure out her name. But yeah, that whole thing seems to have been a hoax. Where it comes from or who made it or how it got onto different news sites, I have no idea, but it became a hoax that became real news. I don't see any way that this is real. The other people did actually die though, from a mukbang or mukbang related complications. And the most interesting story here to me was this one. Filipino content creator suffers cardiac arrest and dies after fried chicken mukbang.
Mukbang nga ba talaga ang dahilan ng kanyang kamatayan? Mukbang. Yeah.
This was posted by an actual news company. Dude, the teeth, the booms on the t-shirt, who edited this clip? And thinking about Dongs was he looked perfectly healthy, but he was filming content like this every single day. And it turned out that he had, I think it was high blood pressure, something like that. Something that basically was like, yeah, you shouldn't be mukbanging, but was mukbanging anyway. So even though he didn't look unhealthy, he was literally putting himself at risk by making content like this every single day. And there's just no question that a lifestyle like this takes a toll on your body. We've all consumed too much food on the holidays, but now like imagine going and doing that every single day for 5 years. It's truly a crazy way to live, and I do think that there will probably be more deaths. It actually kind of reminds me of, I just finished reading this book on Alexander the Great, and in the book he's holding these ridiculous feasts that end up devolving into eating contests, including at one point a wine drinking contest, which, I mean, everyone had fun and everything, but then 30 people died like a week later. And the person that won that contest also died. So yeah, overconsumption is problematic. And I feel like someone who puts this into perspective kind of scientifically is Matt Stonie. Really good example of someone who actually does this truly responsibly and what that means and what it takes.
This is a lot. This is, I mean, no, it's actually not that much. It's only 7.5 pounds of food. It's less than 8,000 calories, just about 8,000. It shouldn't be that hard. It's gonna be hot.
The contrast between Matt Stonie and your average mukbanger is disturbingly large, okay? Matt Stonie is a professional competitive eater, and he acts like a professional. And in order to be a competitive eater, he literally trains for it like any other sport.
You know, I'm doing my cardio, I'm doing my weights. I'm no Superman or anything, you know, it's a pretty normal diet, especially around contest time. You know, I'm cutting back, I'm eating pretty minimal between practices and whatnot. But, you know, like in the off season, I'm just normal guy, just eating normal food.
He literally has to keep himself in good physical shape in order to do his job properly, even though that job is eating a lot of food. And even beyond that, he actually trains to be able to fit all that food into his stomach. He doesn't show up to the plate and just go. He literally trains himself up, like he is preparing his stomach for the food he's about to eat. And from looking around, I learned that there is a whole science to it for competitive eaters. There's an art to getting the food down quickly.
Your stomach expands and actually does push all of your organs out of the way. This right here, that's 50 hot dogs.
You can see what I mean. You gotta train for this shit. You can't just show up and stuff a whole clown car full of food down your throat. So yeah, on one side you have these competitive eaters who are literally training for this lifestyle. And on the other side, you have mukbangers casually eating this all in their car. I saw this one clip of Matt Stonie. I lost it. Maybe I'll be able to find it by the time I'm editing it. But it was a clip of Matt Stonie who had like literally EMT standing by so he didn't die on his 21st birthday. Seems a little bit different than what's going on with the mukbangs. But that's how serious these professional eaters are taking it, because that hot dog stomach is no joke. But then on the other side, you have people who just show up, start eating a big pile of food like this in their car and call it content. Unless, of course, they're not eating this food at all. Unless, of course, they're faking it. Here is a clip this person forgot to edit out. She spits it out mid-chew into what's assumed to be an off-camera garbage can. Then usually would just cut this clip out after.
The jig is up. So y'all mean to tell me we've been getting bamboozled all this time? Y'all been putting all this food in our faces, making us hungry, and y'all really spitting the food out, wasting it? It's stupid to me when y'all could literally just be eating a regular serving and satisfying the people the same way. I don't know where this gluttony came from in the first place. It's a sin. You know that, right? Overindulging in this food and really y'all capping, y'all spitting it out.
But there's been a lot of drama over the last few years as people have started to realize that mukbangs are mostly fake. Mukbangers have really just been faking the content they create all along, making you think they're eating a ridiculous amount in one shot, when in reality, they have it set up so they can spit it out without you noticing it. Here is a really good example of someone's account who actually made me mad. This person's entire shtick is eating a fish tank full of food. Here is her eating 200 hot dogs. Now it's funny that we have a clip of her eating all those hot dogs because we literally just saw that hot dog stomach and what it takes to really jam it all in there. Something tells me that she is not quite as uncomfortable as the mannequin in that thing there. Now here she is making up a thing of 10 pounds of mashed potatoes and gravy. And you see that there? Do not attempt. Performed by a professional. That would be so cold and crappy by the time you got that far into it. And the comments are all like, please don't hurt yourself for views. This is an absurd amount of food. It's not worth it, babe. Your health should be a priority over views. There's no way you felt okay after this. She's also been known to dabble in eating entire gigantic cakes for dinner, with a whole story about how she has free will so she can eat this cake, and it was 4,000 calories and she doesn't know if she regrets the decision, etc, etc, etc. Here's the thing though, she is not eating this food, and for proof, here is a clip of her drinking 500 cups of Prime. Prime is an electrolyte drink. If you drank all of that, your heart would stop. You would die. You would literally die. And at first I kind of thought these fish tank videos were kind of like, she's like, yeah, I'm just making content. That was the vibe. Like they were so obviously fake that it's like, you know, she knows, we know, you know, it's not real, but she's just making videos. But then I saw that she posted this, okay? This was really wild to me.
So a lot of people keep asking me how I maintain such a healthy metabolism. I've honestly always been born with a healthy metabolism, but there is something I do to support a healthy metabolism. I use Bloom.
This is just what works for me, but I was also born with a fast metabolism. The mango flavor is best, IMO. So people must have asked her, oh, how do you eat all this and still stay the same size? She's eating, again, remember, literal fish tanks full of food, and she responds through a combination of fast metabolism and Bloom. It doesn't say ad anywhere, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that that's a sponsorship. So you're telling people that you're eating literal fish tanks through a sponsorship and a fast metabolism. Nice. But yeah, eventually she was caught spitting out one of these 5 Costco chicken bakes she was apparently eating for dinner. So yeah, she got caught. But people are still watching her videos, commenting, and thinking that these fish tank videos are real, and they're getting her views. I just can't stand that she lied about it. Like, I just feel like that is just so unnecessary, and likely lied through a sponsorship. Like what? What she's really doing is likely spending several hours making 10 pounds of carbonara, chewing it up and spitting it out off camera, and doing that day in, day out as her chosen vocation. But ironically, as unhealthy and toxic as doing all that is, it actually probably is the healthiest way to be a mukbanger. Because if you were truly buying a massive pile of food and eating it all on camera every single day, you're monetizing not only what appears to be unhealthy behavior, but clinically unhealthy behavior. I cannot go into specifics because of YouTube, but you're monetizing something that looks an awful lot like what people go to therapy for. And if you're attracted to this as your full-on career path, there is a good chance you might have some issues surrounding food. One of the biggest questions people have online is, how do people do this job and stay in shape? What do the mukbangers who don't fake the clips do to maintain their body size? Because if you put those calories in, they do have to come out somehow. You're not just eating all this food and staying the same size.
I wish I could eat a 20-pound Chipotle burrito and still look like that. Girl, me too. I'm at the gym every single day. If I didn't work out and I was eating those giant burgers and giant burritos, I wouldn't even fit in this Stairmaster. Get up, go to the gym every day.
It's not Bloom, and it's not a fast metabolism. I think the overall impression that's given is, ooh, I just eat like this and I look like this. And unfortunately, I can't go much into this because, again, YouTube, it really does not like you talking about stuff like this. Even this whole video, what we've discussed this far, that could be too problematic, seriously. With where YouTube is at right now, I swear to God, which is absolutely deranged because you can film it, you can upload it, you can monetize it, you can literally make a career off of it on YouTube. but you can't go into the specifics about talking about the reality of it. You know what video that just got demonetized of mine? Secret Eaters, the Dawn episode, okay? As if it's toxic to talk about a woman being framed for eating an entire jar of mayonnaise. Like, are you serious? There are bigger fish to fry, YouTube, okay? Not to mention, I feel like it's a good time I can finally say rip to the ticks video. I know it's not relevant, but it's just, I feel like it's my moment to say rip to the ticks video. Of all videos to get the demonetization axe, that one makes me the most sad. But yeah, any way you slice it, daily mukbangs equals toxic behavior behind closed doors, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure even the spitting it out aspect, I think that is problematic. Obviously, it's kind of mimicking something that we can't talk about. There are physical reactions when you put food in your mouth and you start to chew it, your body's like, okay, we're about to eat. Like if you're a mukbanger and you're eating, let's say you're doing it once a week, I feel like you can make that work. Provided it's not a 20,000 calorie challenge, I mean, you can do that responsibly. But if you're doing it every day or every other day, I just don't see any way that what you're doing is not toxic. That ain't right. Something's going on there, and that is all I'll say. And hopefully that's not too far. But now there's another layer that we have to talk about. Not only are mukbangs a questionable way to live for the creator, but they're also kind of bad for the viewer. So bad that governments around the world have considered banning mukbangs as a public health threat. And last year, after the death of Dong Zapatan, the Filipino Department of Health got involved. Mukbang or mukban. Department of Health mulls ban on mukbang after vlogger death. Health Secretary finally flags unhealthy vlog genre. Health Secretary Ted Urbosa said these types of content are a bad practice and warned about its health risks. You can earn income as long as it doesn't produce health risks. If you're earning from something that is a public health threat, I will have to stop you, he said. Now, ultimately, the Philippines did not ban mukbangs, but they considered it, as did Singapore, South Korea, and China. But out of all 4 of them, only one of them went through with it, and that was China. They actually banned mukbangs there. Though, if we're being completely fair, China also banned Winnie the Pooh, time travel, and award-winning actor Harrison Ford. No, but seriously, over the last few years, a few different papers have been published on the potential health impacts of watching mukbang content, and these have uncovered some shocking information that all viewers of mukbang should know. Breaking news, mukbangs probably make you hungry. A number of studies have now shown that mukbangs can stimulate unhealthy overeating. I mean, duh. It is a hobby that is literally watching other people eat food. That's a hobby. You're just watching people eat food. And not a home-cooked meal at grandma's house, okay? A literal pile of food. People just stuffing it on in there with the volume absolutely cranked. So yeah, you watch a mukbanger do a mukbang of some sort of food, and then you find yourself craving that food not too much longer. Actually, when I wrote my original first mukbang video, I went out and bought gochujang paste, which as someone who likes to cook, okay, I'm not mad at it, but you can see how it works. And I think I researched this whole thing before, and it was due to like mirror neurons, like actually simulating what it would be like to do what the person you're watching is doing. So you actually start like salivating and stuff while watching other people eat, because your brain's like simulating you eating. Like the same kind of vicarious pleasure that you might get from like watching someone do a unboxing video or something like that. But yeah, watching other people eat can make you hungry. It can make you overeat. As a former food addict, I used to watch those cheat day videos. I'd watch Stephanie Buttermore. And I think to myself, yeah, I'm watching this because I'm on a diet. I'm watching someone else eat it so that I don't eat it. But I wasn't recognizing that this was an awful use of my time as a food addict, that this type of thing as a hobby was literally just fueling my desire and my thoughts about food. So yeah, if you're like me and you think people eating food content is a diet aid, you might just secretly be making it harder on yourself. Just some food for thought. Also, sorry if my hair is like looking mad poofy now. I feel like it's been slowly expanding throughout the video. But anyway, if you like this video, you will love this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks again to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. Click the link below and use my code to check out their Independence Day sale today.